Hey guys, in this video, I'd like to show a competition technique that I use all the time. My buddy John Thomas showed this to me. It is a fast and hard to see triangle setup from double sleeve control with a shallow lasso. If you have any questions about the technique, please comment below. This is from a seminar I taught at East Coast United in White Plains, New York last year. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this going forward. Thank you.
We'll start today by showing probably one of the most powerful triangle setups that I've found from double sleeve. And if you use those, so I don't know how many of you play double sleeve or spider guard, some would just call it spider guard, but when I think of spider guard traditionally, I think of like the Michael Lange, like 2 feet in the biceps type of spider guard. But really, when I play spider guard, I'm hardly ever here. Usually I have 1 foot in the bicep with like a kind of a monkey foot clamp, and the other is usually what I call a shallow lasso. Okay, and what you need to be careful when you're playing this kind of guard is that you don't have like a loose grip here. Because the first thing Professor Scully's going to try to do, as soon as I get here, he's just going to loop his hand out. And he's going to grab my pants, and typically he's going to grab the pants here and like throw, you like to throw bypass. Okay, and that's the main thing you want to avoid. The great thing about this kind of guard is that if you're good at it and you know how to maintain it, is it's actually an energy advantageous position from bottom guard, right? I can use almost no energy here, rest, while the guys, there's no intuitive passing here for most people. If they don't know how to pass this, they're just gonna be struggling, like bearing a lot of weight on their posture while they're bent over, and they're gonna get tired real fast while you're just kind of like holding on to your grips, okay? So the biggest thing when you're here is this palm needs to be turned up, okay? And I'm tucking my elbow down to my side. This makes it very difficult for him to loop his hand out, right? Oh, it's pretty stuck, and I'm pulling it and keep it tight and like locked in. And I'm using my knee and my leg here to like reinforce my wrist, so it's not getting pulled out this way if I had my leg out wide. So I'm in tight. This side, I can either, if I want to do more of a rest position, I might hook my foot behind his bicep with his grip broken. This is super, super hard for him to deal with. But most of the time you're going to be here, and most of the time your opponent, when you at least start, is going to have your pant grip. Okay? So what you want to do first to set up this triangle, it's very sneaky. All I'm going to do is from here, I start out with the shallow lasso. I have this foot on the bicep, as I'm just going to keep this grip. I'm going to kick through his armpit, just like this. He has my pants. I want to break that grip. And then now instead of having my hand out to the side, I'm actually going to turn my palm and my knuckles down to meet his wrist and push it down and pull down. Okay, and then I'm going to take my foot back out, put it back on his bicep, and I keep my knee engaged. What this does, it makes it very difficult for your opponent to re-grab your pants, right? I'll move my wrist as he tries to loop his hand in. I'll move my hand in. If he tries to go over, I'll turn my wrist out, and I can just kind of mirror his hand however he moves, and I just keep it engaged. Okay, a lot of times this really stresses out your opponent. He's really worried about his hand. He feels very uncomfortable as he's trying to loop his hand out, and he forgets about this elbow-knee space. Okay, see how there's this big gap between my opponent's elbow and his knee? That's going to open up the triangle. So as soon as I feel he's really worried about this and he's not keeping his elbow and knee space tight, all I'm going to do is use this foot as like a step to lift my hips. I'm just going to use my monkey feet, push down on it, keep this engaged, and I'm just going to lift my hips, try to bring my hips all the way up into his armpit. So I'm here, just like that. And see now, because my leg is up in space, he can no longer suck his elbow in, because it's literally blocked by my body. So now, once this is clamped, I have his posture broken, I can release this grip on his bicep, switch, grab the head, right? I always want to have if I have the flexibility for it, I want to bring my ankle in front of his shoulder, and then clamp up the triangle, okay? And always, there's a million finishes from here. My favorite is to come under and hook the leg. Finish that way.
Good. That's a nice detail. Looking on it.
Yeah, exactly. especially on bigger guys that have like broad shoulders, it's super, super hard to finish a triangle if your leg is going along your back. So anyway, coming back, show it a few more times. I'm here. I've got this, I call it just a double sleeve shallow lasso. My opponent's always going to start out with a grip on the pants. Because if he doesn't have a grip on the pants, if he's just here, I'm just going to immediately triangle him. Right? So most of the time they're going to have a grip on your pants. I'm going to defend that by kicking through. I'm pulling this down and like driving my knuckles into his wrist. Makes it very hard for him to regrip. You know, you'll feel this as you play around with it. Then when he's worried about this, I'm literally just going to like, see, watch my hips. My hips, I'm not shooting from here. Impossible, right? I'm literally lifting my hips as high as I can. The only thing on my mat is my back. I'm here, shooting, shifting, finishing. All right, one more time. You can do this from, he can be in a number of positions, right? So he can be actually on his knees. You can do this, right? He can be on like one knee up. A lot of people do this, right? This is even easier. If he says this knee up, there's like no elbow knee space here. Mainly this is like, yeah, he has that knee up, right? So you can, right? So I'll show one more time from standing. Probably the most common. Here, your pants, break through, control the wrist, here to here, lift my hips. Shoot, clamp, arm across, finish. Any questions on that, guys? All right, let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3.